Now, let's go up a level. Because I thought I knew about classified then. Okay. They give me someone comes in. Our office was in headquarters building. And so besides doing drafting and surveying and all that happy shit, we end up doing a lot of bullshit work for the other officers in the other departments. Especially a skipper or XO, XO mainly, he comes in and says, do this. Our office dropped and did it. And he would tell us that because we were A, very efficient in our job, so we had a lot of downtime. And B, we were smart enough not to overload ourselves with work. We had a lot of downtime. You know, overestimate how long it's going to take you to do something, and you get downtime to, have fun for the rest of the day. It's military. No one really works. So they come in and he hands me a packet, and the packet is like a folder inside of an envelope with a little string that connects across the two, and there's like holes down the middle and little lines for you to write the name of who received it and who handed it off for chain of custody. And he hands me this, and he tells me to take it across the street to the little personnel man that you know from our battalion across over there. And he tells me his name. I don't remember his name now. It could have been like, Schwartz or something for all I remember. But I do know the personnel man he was talking about. I was actually kind of friends with him. I'm like, cool. I'll get to go see him and bullshit with him for a good 20 minutes before coming back. Good day. And this is mind you, we're still up here. And this is at this little building right here. It's behind the security building, about 50 feet. And it's just a little nondescript building, bullshit little building. Didn't know what was in there. I always thought it was a pump house. That house like water pumps and electrical transformer stuff. That's what I always assumed it was. That's how small it is. It looks like a water pump house or a steam house even. So I go there, and they open the door, buzz me in, which, I'm surprised there's a card reader on it, but whatever. I go in, and personnelman Schwartz, let's say his name is, he meets me, and I hand him the file, and he goes, is that from blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I can't touch that. And I'm like, why? It's a fucking radioactive. Take the goddamn thing. I'm told to hand it to you. And he's like, nope, I can't touch that. That's blueprints for the safe, for the secret vault. And I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. Here's your packet. And then he proceeds to tell me that A, it's presented in the wrong way. Because the packet is a folder with some type of papers in it, stuffed in this envelope with holes down the middle and lines to write the name and the little thing across the top. And he's like, that's not what it's supposed to be in. And he goes, it should be inside of a envelope like that without the holes, and that thing going across should then have a crimp seal on it, and there should be two names across on the top, and you can only hand it to that name. And even then, that folder should be inside of another folder, inside of another envelope that's been sealed on the top with a paper seal. And I'm like, okay, it's not. Do you want it? Well, I don't even know what it is. And he goes, well, I can tell you what it's not. And so what it really was is, he tells me it's blueprints for the secret vault. And I'm like, ooh, a secret vault. I'm all excited thinking secret rooms and passageways or something. No, not that type of secret vault, he explains. He goes, no, it's nothing cool. It's a vault to store secret papers. I'm like, secret paper? Classification secret. I'm like, okay, I'm still dumb. I don't get what. And then he explains again that there's, restricted, classified, secret, and top secret, and then made up shit up beyond that. And the classified they can store in their personnel area in special filing cabinets with a big ass lock bar on the front. But secret has to be stored in a special vault. And that vault has to have certain specifications for the walls and stuff. And even the location of the vault in the room is a secret. I'm like, but it's blueprints for it. And once again, any blueprints, I fucking see or read. And he's like, yes, that's why I'm telling you this, because you've already seen the blueprints to the vault, even if you didn't know what they were. And he goes, it's the reinforcement heavy part of this part of the building, because if you think about it, 4 feet thick concrete walls need extra footers underneath the building to support it. Otherwise, that part's going to break off from the building and sink and float away from the rest of the building. That's what happens if you make one half your buildings way too much heavier. So it's all engineered to withstand that. And the engineering is blueprints, and that blueprint's something I get to read and redline. And so he's like, so you've already seen them, you already know about it. I'm like, yeah, it's just some fucking reinforced place for paperwork, no big deal. And then he proceeds to tell me how it really is a big deal, because there's only so many of them per the base, and this one's all this, and they're not even allowed to keep the blueprints anywhere else except for in the vault, which is kind of ironic. That the blueprints to the vault are in the vault. Wonder if they keep the combination to the safe in the safe also. And all that, and then he explains how there's that I asked him, well, okay, what's the deal with the damn bundle? Why won't you take the paperwork then? You already explained to me what's in it. You know what's in it. I know what's in it. I've already looked at it, evidently, and you're probably going to look at it. And he goes, but he doesn't have authorization to receive the paperwork from me. And I should have never brought him the paperwork because I did not have authorization to transport this level of classified material, which was secret, I guess, from the office to him. I'm like, but it's a direct order, and I'm like, I refuse it. He's like, yeah, that's correct. And tells me how I could still get in trouble for it, and blah, 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 blah. And how the envelope shouldn't have the holes in it, and how it should have been stored differently, and how the whole place has fire suppression, but yet if it burns, they have to let it burn anyway, and all this other weird shit and rules about, because it's like, and every now and then they do have shredding parties where they have to shred old documents and then they burn them, and then depending on the level of what they burned, sometimes they have to take the ashes and dump them in a bucket of water. And I'm like, what the fuck type of crazy ass shit? I mean, it's all sounding made up. They're just making shit up at that point. Like, whenever you see in a movie when they say it's like top secret ultra or ultra something or secret level violet, that shit's all made up. I'm almost positive. It's all fucking made up. You know, there's really not that much secret stuff, especially nowadays. There's less and less. The whole base fits in one tiny vault, and even the location of the vault ain't that big of a deal. Well, that's everything I learned about secret, top secret, and classified. I learned firsthand by doing it, and it seems to be that a lot of it really doesn't matter. So when they yell about an ex-president had some type of classified paperwork at his house, probably, possibly. Everything's probably classified in one way, shape, or form. Make sure you subscribe to this video, because the next one I am telling something that was classified, and now the expiration date is up on it, so I'm going to be the first one to tell everyone that, because I was there, so I can. And with that, puff, puff, pass, no park on the grass, I'm out of here. Next one, I am telling something that was classified,